Here's an example of how to think about equilibrium in a table. So this was the do now, where we practiced looking at where the equilibrium falls. So let's look at the first price of $2.50. We can see that at $2.50 for an Avengers movie ticket, a lot of people want to buy movie tickets at that price. Quantity demanded is 2,500, but quantity supplied, the number of movie tickets that movie theaters want to sell at that price, is 0. That means that there's a lot more quantity demanded than quantity supplied, which is the definition of excess demand, or a shortage. Everyone wants to buy at that price, but no one wants to sell at that price. That's a shortage. So the outcome would be a shortage or excess demand. At $5, we can see there's still a lot more people, 2,000, wanting to buy tickets than there are movie theaters wanting to sell tickets at $5. Only 100 movie theaters will sell tickets, or only 100 tickets will be sold by movie theaters at that price. So excess demand again, or a shortage again. $7.50, same deal, but we're getting closer. More people want to buy than movie theaters want to sell, so still excess demand. But finally, at $10 per ticket, we can see that 1,500 consumers want to buy movie tickets at that price, and 1,500 tickets are willing to be sold by movie theaters at $10 a ticket. So 4 is an equilibrium point. So the equilibrium price would be $10, and the equilibrium quantity would be 1,500 tickets. At $12.50, movie theaters are excited about selling tickets at that price. 2,000 supply would supply the movie tickets at that price, but only 200 consumers would buy a movie ticket at $12.50. At $15, only 50 people would buy tickets to see the Avengers, only the hardcore fans, but all the movie theaters would love to sell tickets at that price. For both 5 and 6, and as you can see 7, we have excess supply. Plenty of movie tickets left over, but no one wants to buy them. That's excess supply or surplus. Let's look at this in graph form. We can see that we just graphed in yellow the demand. So if the price is really high, $18 up there in the yellow, no one wants to buy, but as price goes down, more and more people want to buy movie tickets till we get down to $2.50. We have 2,500 people who want to buy tickets. And then if we look at the supply side, at $2.50, no one wants to supply tickets, but as the price goes up, more and more movie theaters are willing to sell tickets at that price, and we can see that they meet at $10 per ticket. This point up here, this price up here of about $15 is a surplus, right? A lot of movie theaters want to sell tickets, but not many people want to buy tickets. That's excess supply. And so down here, what do you think that price of $2.50 is called? That's called excess demand. There's going to be a shortage because everyone wants to buy a movie ticket, but no one wants to sell movie tickets at $2.50. So those are the ways that we can think about demand and supply and equilibrium in table and graph form. And in your test ticket, you'll be doing these very exercises and activities. So today we're going to be going over tables and graphs of demand and supply, and we're going to talk briefly about how shifts in demand and supply affect equilibrium price. Homework for Monday is to take notes on section 6.4. So on Monday you should have sections 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4 done, as well as a summary at the end of the chapter. And then I want you to complete part 1 of the test ticket and part 2. Part 2 is the same as part 1, but you get to come up with your own example. So in class, we had people focus on starting to work on part 1, where they were asked to identify if there was excess demand, excess supply, or equilibrium point on a table, and then graph that table with supply and demand curves and identify the equilibrium point and show where this excess supply and excess demand would be, just like we did with the original example. Now remember, to graph those examples, you want to take the price on the vertical axis, the y-axis, and the quantity on the horizontal axis, and do them one at a time. Do demand curve first, so that people want a lot of them at a low price and very few at a high price, and then do the supply curve, where suppliers want to supply almost none at a low price and a lot at a high price. If you need to rewatch the beginning of this video to see exactly how that works, go ahead, but then do part 1 of the test ticket up to question 5. Question 6 we're going to go over next. So this is the question for question 6 on the test ticket. A new study comes out saying that eating turkeys once a week will extend your life by 2 years. Remember, we're talking about demand and supply for turkeys. If a new study comes out saying that eating turkey once a week will extend your life by 2 years, what do you think will happen to the demand curve? If you said that the demand curve would shift to the right, then you're correct, because if people think that turkey is going to extend their life, they're going to buy more turkey at every price. That shifts the demand curve to the right. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So this should be what your graph looks like for that test ticket, the part 1, where you graph the demand and supply. And then if the demand curve is shifting to the right, it looks like that. So just draw arrows and draw a new line. The new line doesn't have to be graphed at particular points. I just want to see that you have the concept. But I want you to notice what happens to the equilibrium price, where demand and the new demand curve and the supply curve meet. It's a new higher equilibrium point. So consumers are more excited to buy turkey at every price, and that means that the price is going to rise for each quantity. And the suppliers will supply more if the consumers are willing to pay more. So the equilibrium point is both at a higher price and at a higher quantity. So demand curve shifters work in the same way that we studied last unit, but now they change the equilibrium point because they intersect with the supply curve. And supply curve shifters do the exact same thing. They either move to the left or to the right if suppliers want to supply less quantity or more quantity at every price. And the demand curve could shift to the left also. It could be that consumers don't want to buy as much at every price. That would shift it to the left, and the equilibrium price would go down. So again, your homework due on Monday is to take notes through section 6.4, complete parts 1 and 2 of the test ticket. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me, but if you rewatch this lecture and follow along, I hope it is clear for you.